In this video, I'm going to give you a comparison between the EB5 Direct Investment with the Regional Center in 2023. First off, EB5 visa, you got to create at least 10 jobs, and you're going to generally invest $800,000 if it meets certain criteria, although the actual regulation is $1,050,000. So who is the EB5 Direct for? An EB5 Direct visa, before we get into the who, is where you invest the funds in your own business and you can run the business day to day. You can put a manager in place. The EB5 Direct, ultimately, you have control over the business. Generally, you own 100% of this business that's going to employ 10 plus Americans. Generally, it's a new business, or you got to take over a struggling business and maintain the employee count. Most of our clients at Visa Franchise are starting a business from zero. So it could be like a preschool, a restaurant, a healthcare related franchise, and they're going to create 10 American jobs, full-time jobs, 35 hours a week or more. So that's the EB5 Direct, where it can be any kind of business that creates at least 10 American jobs, green card holders, American citizens. Then you have the Regional Center investment, where essentially these investment vehicles you invest in, there could be another 5, 10, 100 plus investors also in this vehicle. And then they lend the money out to a real estate project. Could be a hotel, could be any type of office building. Generally, it's going to be in real estate, but it can also be an operating business. So who is the EB5 Direct Visa for? If your net worth is $1 million up to $2 million, EB5 Direct is worth looking at because the return's going to be a lot higher, especially the more time you allocate to the business. Under $2 million personally, I would have a tough time giving $800,000 away if that represented nearly half or more of my net worth. So net worth $1 million to $2 million. Definitely want to consider an EB5 Direct Visa. Also, for those people that just prefer to own 100% of their own business, if it fails, it's your fault. There's no one to point a finger at, and that can adjust. And whether it's hiring decisions, when to sell the business. If you own 100% of the business, it's your business. You can do what you want with it. And the returns can be significantly higher depending on how much time you invest. 20, 40% return on your capital. That's what we generally see for people that are opening up a new franchise in the United States. It's going to depend again on what industry, what location, and how much time you allocate to the business. You could, of course, lose it all. And that's why you need to select a business, whether it's a franchise or not, that should have a high success rate. And you've got to create those 10 jobs. For EB5 Direct, you got to be willing to allocate more time to the process. So 20 to 40 plus hours over a 2 to 3 month period of investigating different businesses, working with your immigration attorney, working with the business plan writer, compared to a regional center investment now where there's a private placement memorandum. You're going to work with the broker, a licensed security broker. They're providing you the information. And if you trust them, you can go ahead and sign, where it could be 2 hours. I don't recommend you just spend 2 hours investing in $800,000, but in theory, it could take very little of your time. Where the EB5 Direct Investment, it's going to be a lot more hours, a lot more commitment. And a regional center investment could just be a month where you're analyzing documents. You bring in your advisors to vet the project. That could be a month, where direct investment's more like 2 to 3 months to select the investment, and a lot more of your time for a direct investment. So regional center, you're looking to write a check and pretty much forget about it, or check in from time to time, receive reports. I've invested in private companies. I get a report every quarter. I'm happy with that. I understand I don't have any control in the business, any of the decisions, who to hire, fire, when to sell the business. I'm okay with that. I've invested in multiple private companies. Kind of similar with investing in an EB5 project, where you don't really have a say. You've got to trust and look at the history of the operators. But a direct investment, it's a real operating business. You have 10 plus employees. Even with a full-time manager, you've got to be closely watching that business. There are semi-absentee opportunities, but still expect to allocate at least 5 to 10 hours every week for an EB5 direct investment. Where a regional center investment, after you make that investment and file the EB5 visa, it could be an hour a month that you're allocating to monitor your investment. At the end of the day, the EB5 direct investment options for those that really prefer control. You want to have 100% ownership of the business, If it fails, again, it's on you, the failure. There's no one to blame here. You made the decision. You're operating the business. You chose the manager. If you prefer control, the EB5 Direct is a great option to explore. However, if your family's net worth's over $5 million, you probably are going to want to stick to what got you that money and continue making $300K, $500K, $700K plus from your business activities and not worry about this investment, this direct EB5 investment, which it's tied to your immigration, as well as a real operating business that generally the owner is going to be pretty heavily involved in. So process is going to be a lot easier for the regional center option. At Visa Franchise, we do not advise on the regional center option. We are not licensed to advise on the regional center option. We do work though with direct investments. So if you're looking to invest in a franchise, we can help you find and evaluate franchises, whether it is in education, healthcare, food, that meet the eligibility requirements for the EB5 visa, and work with your immigration counsel as well as corporate attorney. But I just wanted to give you this video to share what the pros and cons of a regional center investment are compared to a direct EB5. I used to work at a regional center back in 2014, and there are some great pros and cons to a regional center investment. It is the much more popular option. 90% plus cases are through the regional center. Some years it's up to 95%. However, for those investors, again, summarizing, if your net worth's less than $2 million, it's probably worth exploring the direct EB5 option, even if you decide to go with the regional center option. And if your time is really valuable and you already have a really significant net worth, probably want to skip over the direct option and just look at and evaluate regional centers. I hope you found today's video informational. If you have any further questions, shoot me an email at patrick@visafranchise.com or leave in the comment section any further questions you might have.